Carry On. Carry On! Carry On review with just some hammer curls. So Carry On's the new Netflix Christmas quotation marks movie. It's a Christmas movie in the same way Die Hard is, where it's just kind of set during Christmas. There's nothing too Christmassy about it. Pretty good movie. So you got Taron Egerton and Jason Bateman starring in this. Did a good job. I like the chemistry on screen. And you're basically following a TSA employee, so one of the people that work in the airport, who's finally stepped up to try harder at work to make a better career for himself because his girlfriend's pregnant and they want to have a better life. So he's just, okay, I'm finally gonna try. And then everything goes wrong when he gets handed this AirPod, which ends up being a terrorist who's trying to make him do their dirty work, getting this package through customs to get on a plane. Before I get into the whole plot of the movie, it's pretty good. Like, it's a pretty easy watch, despite the subject matter of, terrorism at an airport. Everyone's favorite. I think it goes a little bit off the rails towards the end, but I still think it's a pretty good movie. And I do think this could be some sort of a Christmas banger. You're telling me my sax is too big for Carry On? How am I gonna play for the passengers? What are they gonna do, raw dog the flight? I'm just gonna straight up talk about the movie plot now, so spoiler warning! So the first 20 minutes is kind of a bit slow, but it's kind of building the necessary backstory, giving you information on who this character is. We see a bit of the bad guys. It's just kind of building the whole situation. And then our main guy, Ethan Kopech, he kind of steps up and be like, hey, put me on one of the machines, with the baggage check-ins. So he gets on that, pretty excited because, he's advanced his career a little bit already. But then within minutes, he gets this earpiece on, and this is probably the most interesting part of the movie to me because the audience also doesn't really know what's happening and it's all pretty, seems pretty real at this point. But he starts getting instructions from this guy who thinks it's a prank at first. He finds out very quickly this is not a prank and this is a real situation. And they find out he's got the pregnant fiance who also works at the airport. She also works at the airport, and then they've got a gun at her head, and so he's doing everything he says. And at this point, we still don't know what is this package. He's just been told, let the package go through, don't let anything happen. And he keeps trying to do like little things like call 911 or make a text off his Apple Watch, but he gets caught all the time because he's got our traveler guy, Jason Bateman. He's got a guy in the chair who's hacked all the cameras, and he's not letting him get away with anything. I forgot to mention, we find out that our main character wanted to be a police officer, but he got denied after one application, so we just never tried again, even though it's his passion. But throughout all these interactions we're having, we're seeing he's very observant, like he's listening, he's trying to point out where this guy is. He's getting all different types of information for very minor things. So it's pretty cool, it's like very impressive guy. But then it starts to take more movement when he actually locates where this guy is in the airport because he sees him after all the different audio cues. And then he leaves like a subtle message to one of the police that are there using like invisible ink type thing that they're using on the tickets to verify them. But they catch on and then that guy gets killed, but it's made it to look like a heart attack. And then from this point on for a while, the two main characters meet and they kind of like discuss what's actually happened. And they find out there's this Russian chemical that they're basically gonna blow up the plane with that's gonna make all the passengers' skin explode and bleed internally. Kind of like when I have lactose pains. Anyone relate? The amount I'm sweating after 3 minutes, you would think this is going on through my proximity. But I'll have you know, it's just a hot day. It's always a hot day out here. He's trying to break away from him a bit, but he keeps threatening Nora. I think that's his girlfriend's name. He'll chase her down, he's trying to warn her, but he keeps getting threatened in the air. And then the other guy who put the package through, we find out he is actually a victim as well. He's got his husband taken captive. It's just, a lot's happening, but it's kind of like, not too crazy. They have a punch up, blah, blah, blah. But then Ethan gets his gun off the traveler and points at him, so he's kind of leverage, but then the other guy sets up the bomb and he's gonna blow up the whole airport. So then he's gotta listen to what he says again. I'm still talking. I'm just putting down the sacks. I'm putting down the sacks. Don't. And then the bomb's deactivated, but Traveler's free again. The rest of he's gonna put on the plane himself and jump off. So there's also been like Homeland Security and detectives that have been following this slowly, but their presence isn't really felt to the end. They're like kind of scattered throughout it, and then they kind of just come in at the end and help solve it. But Ethan is the one that, like, a lot happens, a lot doesn't happen. Like, I'm kind of yapping now. Because that this whole thing, he's also made a lot of enemies. He had to kind of watch his boss get murdered because of this whole, like, I've got to script these videos better, I think. But yeah, from there, Ethan ends up sneaking on the plane. His girlfriend's kind of explained the situation because she's understood what's happened now. The accomplice has already been killed. One bit that also was a bit f***y. So Ethan's in the luggage area finding this thing to defuse because he had to do it before with the instructions, so he knows what to do. But then when the terrorist learns what's happening, he goes into the carry-on, and then the sensor activates to tell the pilot something's in the carry-on. Wouldn't that have already happened I mean the luggage. That should have already happened when Ethan was in there. Whatever. And then we get like a 1 year time skip, and he's going on a vacation with his fiance and or his wife. I don't even know who she really is, and their kid. And he gets stopped at the baggage check-in to put his stuff in the thing. Oh, what do you know? He has a police badge. Happy ever after. Saxton Gym rating. 7 Saxes point 1. 7.1. I was gonna give this lower, but the more I think about it, like it's pretty good. It was pretty good. And I don't want to be too harsh because I've been saying not everyone's a movie critic, even though that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Who cares? This is gonna come out a bit after Christmas. Now, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle